Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I've been absent for a while because I had the COVID and that took me out for about 2 weeks. In the beginning it was a severe migraine. I suffer from migraines in any case, but I had a severe migraine for 4 to 5 days and then some flu symptoms for 2 to 3 days, including a fever. Then after that I was kind of like a head cold, congested, and just a headache. But not really any phlegm, which was odd. And last Saturday, I suffer from acute backache, and last Saturday my back went out on me. Today I went to the hospital, had an X-ray. I have degenerated disc L4, L5, and L5, S1. So finally I've started some physiotherapy, which included ultrasound treatment and stretching on a bed, which was good. So I've got to do that every day this week. I've got to lose weight, got to go swimming, so change the lifestyle. Anyway, back to the topic, ivermectin, and I've got a lot here still unopened, and I've quit very simply because I've had the COVID. So I've got natural immunity now. And more to the point is really, why was I taking ivermectin in the first place? It's because my eldest son, he has some immune disorders, and I was fearful of him getting COVID, and I've got to be out and about with my work. So I was doing this not because I was concerned for my own safety, my own health, but I was doing it because I was more concerned for him. Well, as it happens, all my children got the COVID, and they all had a flu-like symptoms for 24 hours and recovered. My wife also had COVID, and she had symptoms like the head cold that I had in my second week. My wife had that for more or less a full week. But she didn't get the fever and what have you. So yeah, I don't need to take ivermectin anymore. So instead I'm going to keep this, because who knows how long the natural immunity lasts for. And obviously I don't know what the use by dates are on these. 03/08/2023. So I've got a year and 8 and 7 months left to use these up, so I'll keep these. I've got vitamin C, I've got zinc, I've got vitamin D, fish oil, and that I'm still taking because it's healthy to take in any case, right? So yeah, I don't need the. Do I recommend using this? Yes, of course I do. All the research that I've done shows that it is, unlike some health authorities claim. Obviously we're talking about the human form, let's just be clear. It is a very, very safe drug. Obviously I was taking it within the labeled dosage, 0.2 milligrams per kilo of body weight. For the recovery, so I have to tell you this, in all honesty, I don't have the experience for recovery. My kids, they got confirmed with the COVID. I gave them the ivermectin for 2 days. I didn't need to give them a third day because they were running outside already, all fine and dandy. It's not possible to state whether this aided them in their recovery, so I'm not claiming that at all. I didn't take, because in the beginning it was a severe migraine, so I didn't appreciate that I had COVID. It wasn't until I got the flu-like symptoms that I tested and was positive, and then I tested again and was positive. So at that point I took 1 dose, and the following day I didn't have the fever. So, but instead I had like the head cold. So who knows, if my kids had not taken ivermectin, would they have suffered for longer? We don't know. in the end, obviously, it didn't work as a prophylactic because I got it. But again, the jury's out because I may have had it much sooner if it wasn't for this. Right? So no one can fact check what I'm saying because it's an individual experience. It's my own experience, and we cannot state whether this helped me to not get sick and whether this helped to recover quicker. We just don't know. So if you're considering to use this as part of your toolbox for your own health, my advice based on my experience is, yeah, do it. I've taken double the dose and done it twice in a week before. I've done that twice actually, where in 1 week I've dosed twice because I felt that I'd come into contact with someone that had COVID, and the second time that person genuinely did have COVID. So no, I've not started to grow a mane or anything like that. I don't see grass and think I want to eat it. Okay. But yeah, that's my story. And if you want to see past videos, you can look through my channel. You'll see past videos where I've been taking Ivermectin, and so I'm glad I've got this natural immunity. I'm gonna do another video. I've been depressed, honestly. I've been very, very depressed in the last 3 weeks. Just because I'm not happy to be in bed. Number one, migraines are not fun. Number two, having your back go out on you and you lose 3 inches in height is also not much fun. And then a friend sent me a link on Brighteon. I'm going to be honest with you, so it's difficult for me to pronounce the name. I'm going to show you on the screen because the censorship czar gurus on this platform might not be very okay with this. So there you go. I'm going to review his opening statement because it's very intense and he touches upon everything, which obviously is conspiracy, whereas some people might view it as, no, the conspiracy is on us, okay, by the people that he mentions. So I'm going to review that. I just thought to kind of touch upon what's going on in Europe and obviously this. So you've got the Scandinavian countries, Italy now, and other European countries, obviously the United Kingdom, well, England, Israel also, have done away with a green pass, right? So all of a sudden, in lockstep, whilst cases are flying up, hospitalizations are actually increasing, and in the case of Israel, death rates are actually increasing. So why would they suddenly do a 180 U-turn on their policy and now not push for vaccinations, but recommend them, not have any lockdowns, not mandate masks and things like that? Well, it could be related to this. Why do I say that? Because it could be that what they've done is a crime against humanity, and they can plead innocent. I'm using a Samsung Note 20. Is it 20? The latest one with 512 gigabytes, whatever it is, and it's full. So I've got to delete some photos and videos. Anyway, back to what I was saying. It's very suspicious that all of these countries suddenly do a 180 U-turn, and especially when some of these countries have death rates that are increasing, supposedly death rates that are increasing. Well, I think it's because it is a crime against humanity. That's what I've been saying since the beginning. I mean, how can they come out against ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine and say that then say that the jury's out while slandering it as a horse dewormer And at the same time, some of the pharmaceuticals can bring out a new oral medication and test that sufficiently well to state an efficacy rate. Yeah, but they can't do the same with drugs that are already available. So I think you should go and look up this Reiner person. I won't say the full name. You saw it. See what he is all about and what he's had to say. I also, my status, not that it's any of your business, is I'm unvaccinated. And I kept saying to people, just wait. And they're like, no, I need to travel, or I want to go on holiday, or I can't go and fly, I can't go to bars and clubs. And I'm like, just wait. Things are changing so quickly. And boom, just like that, in like a week, all of these countries have done a 180. And I'll give you the best example that I can. My father was double vaccinated and he needed to travel somewhere. And if he hadn't had a vaccine within a 6-month period, then he couldn't travel. So based on that, he got his 3rd vaccination and traveled. Now he's in this country, and I can go to the airport right now, jump on a frigging airplane, and go to that same country unvaccinated. And that proves my point that I've been saying all along, in terms of don't rush it. Don't treat today's reality like it's forever's reality, because it's not. In England, the first time that they lifted the lockdown, remember it was a 2-week lockdown that lasted 6 months. And I was speaking to a friend of mine, and Thailand had just gone under lockdown, and he's saying to me, oh, we've gone through it, we're free. I said, for now. And then boom, a couple of months later, new lockdowns over there. I still feel, I'll explain a bit more about the depression. So, being laid in bed, and I can't watch any news, I can't read any news. And I'm hearing about family members who have vaccinated their 7-year-old boy, and my grandmother went and got a 4th vaccine, and now she's a cabbage and she's on a deathbed. Literally a week before, I'm speaking to her on the phone, she's 89, and we're laughing and joking and arguing. And then she gets the 4th, and now she's got internal herpes. I didn't even know that they could be, but yeah, eating her up from the inside. She was rushed to hospital twice already. She's in the hospital right now. She's literally on a deathbed. She can't lift her head up. She's not with it at all. Vomiting, and it was instant. It was like the next day she changed. So it's very depressing for me, because I've got 3 kids, and what kind of a future have they got living under tyranny, which is where the elites want it to go. We'll own nothing and we'll be happy, yet they'll own everything, right? And this 180 is to get out of the consequences of the crimes against humanity, because they can say, oh, we didn't know, we just followed the science. And now that the new science has emerged, which is lockdowns were ineffective, didn't save anyone, and in fact, lack of cancer screening has actually increased death rates, avoidable death rates, suicide rates, drug abuse, alcohol abuse, not to even mention the transfer of wealth from working and middle class people. So it's very, very depressing, and this U-turn, whilst it is good news and it's given me the I'm here doing this video, I'm still not optimistic. I'm still very pessimistic. And I look at all these young people that have been vaccinated and I fear for their future. Will they be able to have kids? Will they drop dead from myocarditis? Will a blood clot suddenly, boom? It's not over. Like I say, today's reality isn't necessarily tomorrow's reality. Today's death rates isn't necessarily, that's it. Oh, the information's in. And at the end, went out on me again. Right, it's showing me I've got 4 minutes and 44 seconds of recording time. I didn't notice that. Yeah, so like I said, I think that the elites will get away with this. Listen to Reiner, okay? He names them. And I think they'll get away with it. I don't think any of them will be locked up. And the repercussions is going to be generational. So I'm coming across as angry, which I am angry. I'm angry and frustrated, but in actual fact, I'm just depressed because I don't know what the future for my kids is going to be. My parents knew my future, right? When I was a kid, it was like taken for granted. But in 1918, Russia, I think, especially 1919, for example, let's say after 1 year, I think parents like me understood that the future for their children was no longer a clear, they didn't have a clear path of the life that their children will go through. And that's where we're at. Russian Revolution 1919, that's where we're at. And that lasted a lifetime. So we'll see. Thanks for joining me again. I'm going to do a review and give more of my opinions. I just need to give my head a bit of a break. There was a lot of information to take in, and also what's been happening in Europe. It's not made me feel happy. Oh, freedom's back. It's made me more depressed and more angry. I'd rather be wrong. But it's turning out that I'm not wrong, and I've not been wrong on anything. So we'll see. But yeah, back to the point. If you're thinking to do this, do it. And if you're thinking either prophylactically or for recovery, that's my advice. Do it. Wear your masks.